Hello, this is Artem from Xarial, and in this video I will demonstrate how to automate insertion of QR codes into your SOLIDWORKS drawings using CAD Plus toolset. Let's explore this design. I'm going to use a properties grid from CAD Plus to see what custom properties are available for those parts. So you can see there are a few custom properties, and what I'm going to use is to use part number and project number custom property to insert this information via QR code into the drawings. I'm just going to use a handy macro from Toolbar Plus to open the associated drawing. So here it is, and I'm just going to use the free version of CAD Plus insert QR code feature, where I can customize what information I want to include in my QR code. For example, I can use a file path, custom properties, etc. So I'm just going to use a part number custom property. I just need to nominate to load this property from the reference file rather than from a drawing. I can also use multiple properties and combine those text. So you can see my project number will be put into the parentheses after the part number. I can also customize the location and size of my QR code. So let's make it a bit smaller, 50 millimeters, and let's locate it in this bottom right corner with a little bit of an offset. So when I set up the parameters, I click green tick and the QR code is inserted. QR code is inserted as a picture, and you have an option to update this QR code if your information such as custom property value is changed. However, it will not happen automatically. In order to automate insertion and updating of QR codes, we can utilize an API of CAD Plus toolset, which is available in the standard edition of CAD Plus. We'll be using one of the macros available in the public GitHub repository. You can find the link in the description of this video. So let me just open that macro. I just need to copy the code and paste it into my newly created macro in SOLIDWORKS. So let's go to Tools, Macro, New. Let's create new macro. Let's call it Insert QR Code. We can now just replace the default code in this macro with the one we just copied from GitHub. We can customize that macro, but before that we just need to add the reference to CAD Plus toolset. So you just need to select the CAD Plus toolset API for SOLIDWORKS, and now this macro is set up. So we just need to specify what expression we want to use in order to insert our QR code, and we can simply copy that from that interface and just paste it in our macro. Let's further customize the location and size of our QR code. So we're going to put it into right bottom corner. If you press Ctrl plus space, you'll be able to select from a drop down, or you can just type bottom right. The size of that is going to be 50 millimeters. So please note that those values here are in meters, so we need to convert to the corresponding units. So 10 millimeters offset from X and 40 millimeters offset from Y. And now we can just click on Run button just to test our macro. So let's close that page and click on Run to test our macro. As a result, we should expect the same QR code is inserted into our macro. As you can see, this macro works. Now let's download another macro which will automate the PDF export. This macro is available in codestack.net website. You can just navigate to this macro. So link is available in the description. So let's just click the button to copy the source code. We need to repeat very similar steps we did for the insert QR code macro. Tools, Macro, New. We need to create a new export macro. So I already have some version of export macro, so I'm just going to override that file. Click on Save, and just gonna paste the source code which I just copied from codestack.net. And similar to the previous macro, I need to add one of the references, but in this case I need to add another one called macro plus API for CAD Plus toolset. So now we can save the macro and our setup is complete, and we can automate the process using the batch plus if you want to process drawings in a batch mode. Let's test this scenario. So here's my drawings available for this design, and here's my macros. I'm just going to navigate to the start menu of Windows and find the Batch Plus standalone application. This application allows to batch run any macro or macros for the selected files or folders using SOLIDWORKS API. So let's just drop the drawing for testing, one of these drawings, and I'm just going to drop two macros to run. So I'm just going to use first one to insert QR code and second one to export the file to PDF. So this one and this one. we can set some settings. So I just want to temporarily insert the QR code. So I'm just going to set this to read only and also select a version of SOLIDWORKS I want to run. For the export macro, we need to configure how we want to output our files. So I'm just going to output it into the PDF folder, and I'm just going to use the original name of the drawing. You can select more options and .pdf. So this macro allows you to export to any different formats in various file naming conventions. So when we're done, we click run and the process will be started. So a new session of SOLIDWORKS will be run, and Batch Plus will open all the drawings and run those two macros. So as a result, you can see we have a report. The execution was successful, and our export macro produced PDF. We can just open, and this PDF contains the QR code, as you can see. And Batch Plus also has more options to automate. So instead of opening individual drawings, we can actually drop the full folder and process that. So let's just drag and drop the folder, navigate to Input tab, and specify the SOLIDWORKS drawings as a filter for our files, so we not process any other files in that folder. We can also utilize the rapid mode available in Batch Plus, so it will allow opening the drawings in the detailing mode, which will greatly improve the performance. But please note, not all APIs will be available in the detailing mode, so not all macros can behave the same, but inserting the QR code and exporting to PDF is supported by detailing mode, so we're just going to use it in our demo. We can now start the process, and as you can see, a new job is started, new session of SOLIDWORKS is launched, and now we have more files to process. It will take much faster because all of our drawings opened in detailing mode, and you can see that on the background files are opening and QR code is inserted, so all has been processed successfully. You can save the job if you want to reuse it in the future iterations, but let's just explore our output. So we have a PDFs. Let's open some of the PDFs. So this one also has a QR code. And we also have some of the PDFs which do not have a proper QR code. So for example, this would happen if property is missing, the one which you used as a source for our QR code. And also know that because we use the read-only mode, our original drawings become unchanged, and QR code is inserted purely for the export procedure. Thank you for watching this video.